Next thing we're going to talk about is the continued mental and physical, I guess, just the overall decline of Joe Biden. We can see it across the board. We're just going to run through a couple articles here. Clinton advisor, this is from All Sides. Clinton advisor warns Biden needs to do more than focus on Trump in 2024. Now, this is true. So here's where the waters get a little murky when they say, Biden didn't get that many votes in 2020. It was rigged or this and that, and it was cheated and stolen. And I'm not going to say all that. Here's what I will say. I don't think as many people that voted for Biden were voting for Biden. I think possibly the majority. At least a good amount, if not the majority, were not necessarily voting for Biden. They were voting against Trump. And seeing Biden can't run off that now. We've gotten almost 4 years here with Biden not cutting it. In the last week's video, we watched this guy at a barbershop. He said, we've been broke with Biden. So they went from riding with Biden to being broke with Biden. And I think that's absolutely true, because when Trump was in office, things were a lot better for a lot more people until you had that once in a lifetime pandemic come and just, take the world by storm. To be fair, I wasn't the biggest fan of how we handled things, but how often does that kind of thing happen? And maybe we handled it better than we could have if somebody else was in office. There's really no way of knowing that or judging that. So I'm not going to place, major judgment or anything like that. I just will say that not only myself, but a lot of other people were a lot happier when Trump was in office, and especially the young folks coming up. If all they know is a Trump presidency and a Biden presidency, they probably feel a lot better about what life was like under Trump and look forward to him coming back. But we'll just run through a few more of these. In the Hill, if I can get back up to it, it says light bulb on a dimmer. New York Times editorials question Biden's ability to serve. CNN Politics says, the 2024 campaign gets grimmer with Trump's extremism on full display alongside concerns over Biden's age. Of course, they got to go after both on that one, right? Again, The Hill. Democrats fret over special counsel's Biden report ahead of November. I hate when sites do that and it loads it and pops it up and pops it down. Ugh. All right, last one here is from The State. It says, why are more voters worried about Biden's age than Trump's? It's a lot more evident. That's why. Okay. We can see it in Biden. We don't see it in Trump either at all or nearly as much. Can we see a little bit of time affecting Trump? If there's any Republicans that say no, I think they would be dishonest to themselves. Obviously, Trump is an old man. He is. He's an old man. Biden's an older man. Trump tends to wear his age a little bit better than Biden. And Biden just looks like a frail, walking, dead human being or skeleton, future skeleton here. Trump seems to be a lot more in it and have a lot more going on. I mean, he's more spry. He's playing golf, which I've never played. It's definitely not football or basketball. So it's not a game that requires great physical, stamina or anything, I wouldn't imagine. But at the same time, he's doing a lot more than Biden is. And Biden just does the chocolate chip cookies and ice cream for the most part, if he can find out where he is and where he's going. So another thing that's got people upset again is Jon Stewart being back on the Daily Show, and he opened it up going after both Trump and Biden. To be fair, he went after both of them, but the left's not used to anybody pushing back against Biden or anything. Here's what Jon Stewart had to say about Biden's most recent gaffe, kind of showing, a little bit of what's going on.
President Biden, who I've been around numerous times just in this last year, is sharp, he's focused, he's bright.
He is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
This is a man who is sharp, who is on top of his game, who knows what's going on.
He's smart, he's on his game.
I was in almost every meeting with the president, and the president was in front of and on top of it all, coordinating and directing leaders who are in charge of America's national security, not to mention our allies around the globe.
Did anyone film that? Because if you're telling us behind the scenes he is sharp and full of energy and on top of it and really in control and leading, you should film that. That would be good to show to people instead of a TikTok where he goes, cookie.
Again, they're just not used to the criticism, but there's plenty to criticize. Not everybody gets it. Okay. Some people refuse to see it. Speaking of which, I kind of like Bill Maher. I'm not going to lie. When you look at his whole body of work, going back to the 80s, I guess, maybe even beyond, I don't know. But, you know, I remember stuff from at least the late 80s, early 90s. I remember Bill Maher. And I rather like his entire body of work. Here lately, he's been like a broken clock. He's right about, twice a day. So there's times where I see him, ride with the left. And then there's sometimes I see him realize he is riding with the left and he kind of recenters himself. But sometimes he doesn't always catch himself. So here's a video of him with Jillian Michaels, who is, of course, fitness expert, certified nutritionist, and just a beautiful lesbian. But here they are talking about Biden's mental state, and he just doesn't get it.
That's why I say Biden, I wish he would get out of the way for somebody younger, but as far as can he actually do the job? Yes, he can. He's not senile. And most of the decisions are made
he's not senile?
He's not senile.
Bill! Did you see the thing where the Civil War and needed more airports? And he's like, whoa! You think he's not senile?
He's not senile.
But Bill.
That's different.
What is that then? It wasn't happening like that when he was Obama's VP.
It doesn't, no, of course, he's a lot older and he shows it. It doesn't affect what matters. He doesn't, when they're talking in the Oval Office, first of all, he doesn't talk like that because he's just not, when you're old, you're not confident talking publicly.
Gone to me.
He's not gone. The brain is not gone. The decisions. Okay.
Do you think he's making them? I don't think he's making them.
Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Of course he's making them.
How?
How?
He literally just called Trump the sitting president the other day.
And Trump just he did a whole rant.
Did I just tell you Trump was mentally sound?
No, but he did the same thing. People get up in the upper years, and then, especially when you're talking in public a lot, it's going to happen. It doesn't affect.
Bill.
Okay. Don't give me Bill in this area. I'm the one who doesn't know shit. Maybe you don't. I'm not saying you don't know shit.
No, I'm not claiming to know anything about politics, but watch the friggin' videos of the guy.
I've seen the videos.
He can't get off the stage.
That's not true either. I've seen the videos. We've seen the same thing.
The bicycle store. He doesn't know where he's at. You think the guy knows? Okay. I mean, because
okay. Point area explored. We have a difference of opinion.
Fair. You can school me on it.
Nobody knows. I'm just telling you. When he's sitting alone, not alone, when he's sitting with advisors in the Oval Office, where the job is actually done, not in this arena, which has you so interested in, this shiny object.
Object?
It's the shiny object that is distracting you because you're not in the Oval Office.
He looks demented. And I don't mean demented crazy,
exactly,
I mean dementia.
Looks.
In your opinion.
Okay.
I mean, to me, those are signs of dementia.
Yeah, they both have some. Probably everybody does at that age.
All right, so there's a lot in that video that I'm going to break down as best I can without stringing it along all day long. All right, first and foremost, Jillian Michaels still got it. She can still get it. I know she's a lesbian, but she's still fire, in my humble yet accurate opinion. That out of the way. Bill Maher again, I like overall long term, but this is one of those times where it's like, come on, Bill. He's in complete denial of Biden's mental state, of what he actually can see. And all he can point to is what happens, behind the scenes where it matters. But he doesn't know what's going on back there. He's listening to these other folks that are spewing it out. And Jon Stewart called them out on it. Says, where's any evidence that stuff is actually happening? We haven't seen that. We have seen everything else. Bill Maher's buying into it. I don't know why. I think he's smarter than that. You know, he sees the same thing we are, but he keeps saying, I've seen the tapes. I've seen this. It's not like you're saying. It's exactly like she's saying. It's exactly like we're all saying. We've all seen it. We all know what's going on. So he makes this spiel about a shiny object, right, of what we can see, or the appearance, right, versus what happens behind closed doors, again, where it all matters. But he has the gall to talk about Trump and how he acts, right? Let's talk about that for a second. Behind closed doors, where it matters, right, Trump got a lot done. Secured our border, garnered the best economy in years, lowest unemployment rate ever, lower taxes for everyone, not just the millionaires and the billionaires, right? Or whatever, the top 1%. He lowered taxes for everyone. That's another one of those, you know, word games that they try to play to make you feel like he's only looking out for certain people. No. He lowered taxes for everyone. All right. And the cherry on top on that one, no new wars. Not one new war under Trump at all. We had the pandemic. We were going to have that anyway under somebody. Couldn't avoid it, right? No new wars under Trump. That's pretty admirable. Okay. I think my camera might be glitching out on me. Might be time to get a new one. So if you see it, I don't know what's going on. I have to get that checked out. But look, because of the brutishness or whatever of Trump, I guess, Maher feels justified in judging him over that, but not Biden. Like he can go after Trump, but he can't go after Biden because of what's seen versus not seen or whatever. Furthermore, he likes Gavin Newsom. He's a big Gavin Newsom supporter, only because he looks and acts presidential, but hasn't actually accomplished anything. And in fact, made his state worse, but because he has the look and he can act presidential, you know, that shiny object kind of thing he was talking about. That's exactly why he likes Gavin Newsom. So he's very contradictory in his statements there between, you know, what matters behind the closed doors and what we can't see versus what we do see. And he focuses on a lot of what you can see when it comes to Gavin Newsom. You know, good looking guy, don't get me wrong, good looking guy, well put together, well spoken. You know, Trump looks like a brute, you know, and is mean and forceful and in charge. But he can't see Biden, who's fallen off, you know, the stage, fallen off his bike, can't get off the stage. He said he can't get off the stage. That was a lie, and all these other conspiracy. No, it's out there. We've seen the tapes. The internet is forever. They're going to be out there. You can go and Google or YouTube or Rumble or whatever when this video is over and look up Biden falling, and you're going to find a plethora of videos to look at. He has forgone his own observations and the observations we've all seen and sided with the talking points of the Democratic Party. All right, so back to Biden, and we're going to wrap up this segment real quick. A couple things. AP News, President Joe Biden to travel to East Palestine next week, a year after derailment. If you remember, that's where that train derailed, right, and had that chemical spill. That took forever for Pete Buttigieg to get out there. Biden never, ever went, but he's found time now that it's an election year to get out there and, you know, shake hands and kiss babies or whatever he's going to do out there. Another thing to think about is Kamala Harris. In New York Post says Kamala Harris insists she's ready to serve, touts her capacity to lead. Here's a reality check for Kamala Harris in case she has to take on the role of the presidency or thinks that she's likable enough to become the president. This is technically from CBS News. I see it cites somebody else. Keller at large, is Harris truly unpopular, or is that the price of being a female politician? You know, you always got to throw that kind of option out there because everybody's racist and sexist and stuff. First two paragraphs right here, I want to say, Boston, she's next in line to the presidency, but a new poll shows Vice President Kamala Harris is anything but popular. In fact, she has one of the worst approval ratings for a VP since polls started measuring that. Okay, she's not popular, nobody likes her, but she thinks she's ready to do the job. She may be ready to run out there, but even in that video where I was showing Jon Stewart talking about how Biden is behind the scenes, she could barely put a sentence together. She was stumbling over herself. You know, when it's like the thing about the moment in time is the times of the moments of times. You know, one of those word salads she always does. She's a hot mess. Nobody likes her. Even the black community that she has tried so hard to make sure she gets votes from for Biden, for herself. They don't want her. They don't want to have anything to do with her. And nobody likes this woman. I can't stand that woman. As far as politicians go, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, I cannot stand those two women. All right. Look, we're getting toward the end here of everything. Real quick before we move on, something I want to talk to you guys about is Gruntworks Meat Company. Again, this is another one of the companies that I've spoken about several times. They have top quality meat at grocery store prices. They're great for those that are on the carnivore, keto diet, or anyone that just likes a top quality meat. They offer a variety of grass-fed, Wagyu, Angus, regular cuts, and even some organs. Right? All the meat is pasture raised, never any antibiotics, hormones, GMOs, or pesticides. It's made in America, and 10 cents from every pound ordered is donated to a veterans organization, a charity that they work with. Check them out at Gruntworks MC. That's gruntworksmc.com. Direct link will be in the description below. But when you go, make sure you use Mayhem 10. And you'll get 10% off your entire order, even the good sell stuff. So it'll give you another 10% off. Go check them out. It's fantastic. You're going to love it.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out this clip from the Morning Mayhem. Remember, this is just a portion of the full show that comes out every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you hadn't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the full shows or these tasty little nuggets.